So Ducky, can you tell me that is it this area is your first place when you come to Hong Kong? You pick this area for your jockey's room?
Actually, no. The jockey's room was a lot different when I first came. There was an upstairs and a downstairs. I was actually upstairs in the far corner, and I think about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe a bit longer, they renovated it, and they've done a fantastic job. And when we came back from the off-season, we were just allocated areas. So I got allocated this area, and I was very fortunate to get a corner.
Yes.
And it's nice and quiet, and yeah, it's become part of history.
Yeah, so you know that in Hong Kong, all the jockeys, trainers, and even the owners, they have something kind of must-call or fortunate thing. So do you have anything there in your jockey's room?
A lot of jockeys are very superstitious, and they'll particularly wear their lucky boots, or they'll have a lucky whip that they use, something that they've won with or been successful with that they will always use. Of course, I have my favourite whips and my favourite girths and those sorts of things, but I've tried not to allow myself to be over superstitious.
We see it's just like the jockeys are already well dressed, and then when they come up from the jockey's room to the paddock, so they just greet the trainers and owners. But how you guys prepare for the race?
It's actually a very intense day. A lot of people, I think, that sit upstairs think that there's a lot of time between races, half an hour.
Yeah.
But for us, when we get back in until the next race, we have around 5 or 6 minutes before the bell goes, and we have to be in the parade ring again. So when you come back from a race, when you come back, prepare for the first race, what we generally do is we'll get our colours.
Yes.
First we have to put on the body protector.
Yes.
You put your colours over that with your breeches and your boots, and then you weigh out they prepare this with your weights and which horses. And then depending on the weight, you know, you'll weigh out with a lighter saddle, a little bit heavier, depending on which weight you're riding. And then you go to the front and weigh out and come back, and then you put your color cap on your helmet, and the bell goes for you to go out. And as you come back from the next race, the same thing happens. So there's no time for showering, there's no time to change. It's really quite intense. I like it. It makes the day run fast, and it keeps you mentally stimulated. I've been to a lot of places where there's 45 minutes and it's really relaxed. But I enjoy the intensity of Hong Kong. So there's not much time between races, but it's a good thing.
So how about the rainy days? Because every time we see it, actually it's very hard job for the jockeys because they have to ride the horse and then just under the rings, and then there will be overweight because colours can have some more water. So
yeah, not only your colours, but your t-shirt underneath, and also your boots. The water goes into your boots and it collects in there. When it rains, I like to wear a pair of waterproof rain breeches, so that keeps the water out my boots and off my lower part. You can wear a waterproof top, but it's too hot in Hong Kong and you really sweat, so you get wet anyway. There's not much that you can prevent from not getting wet and coming back heavier when it's raining.
So it has been a fantastic journey, I can say, when you move your base in Hong Kong. Actually, at the beginning, you already got your first winner very quick on Fireball for Mr. Wang Tamping. You also produced his last winner as a trainer on Northern Gold Ball.
Well, Fireball, I think he was my 3rd or 4th ride on my first day. Wang Tamping was one of my biggest supporters. And for Mr. Chu, the owner, you know, I'm still grateful to this day for them affording me the opportunity, and he was a lovely horse and well prepared. And when Wang Tamping retired, I rode, as you said, his last winner, and I really got down to ride 115, which is very difficult for me, but I got my weight down to 115. He gave me my first winner, and I gave him his last winner as a trainer. So it was a bit of history and something that was special and unique for me to be able to do that for him after all the years and support that he gave me. It was something I was very proud to be able to pay him back with a winner going out. Yeah, Northern Gold Ball had a mind of his own, and he he was quite claustrophobic in the gates. He didn't want to. He didn't like to be in the gates very long. And when he came out, he was strong. So it took a bit of time to get him to sort of accustom his racing style manners and get him to relax and start running on from behind. But the most important thing was to get him into the gates, and we thought of everything, and eventually he never used to mind backing up.
Yeah.
And we got special permission through the stewards and the jockey club to allow us to go in backwards.
Yeah.
And problem solved. He started to win, and he started to really blossom. But it's one of the few horses that I've ever known that has to load from the front backwards.
You have been here for 20 years. For the first 5 years, before you're going into Ducky Whyte domination, you really put a lot of efforts in gaining support and also know the system.
It's like anything. When you're new on the block, it takes time to learn and establish yourself, find contact, find support, and you know, it was tough, but I enjoy challenges, and I just kept working hard, finding how the system works and how to better it and how I could become successful. It was a challenge, but it was something that I enjoyed doing. I enjoyed doing my own form. I enjoyed watching replays, learning, riding a lot of track work, getting feels for horses. So it taught me a lot, and it grounded me well for what I was going to achieve.
What are the differences when you first come to Hong Kong and now it has been 20 years?
I think the racing itself, the quality of blood, horse flesh. When I first came here, I would think that, you know, even a horse like London News for me was outstanding compared to the horses here. And I think over the years, the amount of money to up the quality is phenomenal. I think Hong Kong can hold their own anywhere in the world. I think we've got some of the best racehorses that can participate and be competitive anywhere in the world. And besides that, I think that, you know, the club just never allows itself to go down. It keeps bettering facilities, bettering the tracks, bettering prize money. They set a global standard, and they never ever want that standard to drop. So it's been a phenomenal ride to see how it was when I got here, and how it's got so much better, for the better, over the years. It's been a great journey, and I think Hong Kong Jockey Club should be very proud of what they've achieved.
We are in the paddock, and actually this place has been lots of emotions involved. So we know that in Hong Kong, when you're winning races, all the punters are your fans. You say, oh, Ducky, good job, something. But if you lose races, especially for the favorites, they will just boo boo. And how do you cope with all those emotions?
You have to be mentally strong. Look, there's highs and lows in any sport. I think racing is probably very fickle, because a lot of the punters, they talk from their pocket, and they don't really know how to read a race. I think Hong Kong itself doesn't allow for any mistakes, and it's a very handicapped system where there's no room for error. So, you know, there can be 6 or 7 horses going across the line within a space of 1 length. And then if you run 3rd or 4th, they think that you haven't tried your best. But it's a, you know, they don't understand the handicapping system, and a lot of people that just punt do talk from their pockets. But besides that, there are some really good people, and you're right, when you're winning, you're a favourite. When you're losing, the tide changes, and they're sort of all over you. But that's where you have to be mentally strong, and you have to phase that out. You cannot let it antagonize you or get to you, because if you lose that side of you, your horse can feel it. And if you tense up, you create a bad energy, and you might ride the wrong race that you had planned, because of, you know, you're already angry, you forget things. So there's a lot of things that you have to oversee, forget about, and just stay in the right frame of mind, and just continue to do your job.
13-time championship, so we all know that it's really hard. You have mentioned about it. It's really hard. It's easy to reach to the highest when you work hard and with the help of others. But to keep to be at that level is the hardest.
I cannot explain to you or to a lot of people how much it takes physically and mentally to maintain at that level and that standard for that long.
Yeah.
I'm very, very fortunate that I've got such a wife and family that are very supportive of me, because you know, to keep your fitness level, to keep your mental level, your homework of which horses, and then also to be very aware of who you get involved with friendship-wise, because a lot of people in Hong Kong, as you yourself indicated, they're your friends while you're winning, and as soon as you're not successful, you find out who your real friends are. So you learn that along the way, but I'm very grateful for the family that I have that allowed me or afforded me the opportunity to do what I did best, and they sacrificed a lot. When I say a lot, you know, I was really hardworking and determined and aggressive at what I did, and I didn't have a lot of family time because of that. The time that I did had was very good quality time with them, but it was very limited. You know, it's very simple, and I'll sum it up for you in a few words. If you can only cope with being the best, you're not the best. It's the low times and the bad times that make you and break you, but make you stronger. And if you can get through those times when everybody's on top of you and you can still get your head above water and breathe, then you get your arms out, then you get your body out, then you get your legs out and you start running. And you'll find your way back if you're mentally strong enough to do that. So those tough times have made me a better individual, have taught me who my friends are, and have certainly grounded me in a way that I'll never be grounded again. And that doesn't come from success. That comes from disappointments and a lot of people that have turned on you, and harder work than 13 years champion. Harder work to get back to a level or a competitive level. But it's been enjoyable all the way, and again, if I could change something, it would be that time, but then I wouldn't be who I am today. And that's molded me and made me a better person.
So any words that you would like to share with our audience?
The only thing I'd like to say is Hong Kong's my home. I love it, and I will never leave Hong Kong.
So that means Hong Kong will be your base forever, I can say?
Whether I work in Hong Kong or not, my children are born here, they consider this home. So I will definitely, in some way, shape or form, I will be involved in something in Hong Kong.